Hi Libra, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here for your August 2016 monthly tarot reading. Thank you so much for joining me. So today I'm using my two new decks, the Japardize Tarot and the Linestrider Tarot. And I'm going to do a similar draw to what I did last month. And that's pull two cards for 4 different categories. And so that's work, home, love, and let's do a spiritual. This card, I'm telling you, it just is screaming at us. Nice. I like these cards. They're nice and big. I like big cards. This big career is going to be something we're really going to be doing some soul searching about this month. So I'm a Libra moon. Strength, wow. Some pretty powerful cards. We have 2 major arcanas in the work and career and in the love and relationships. So underlying the reading this month, Libra, we have the 9 of Swords. So there is something that we've been struggling with that's been keeping us up at night, that we've been having a lot of anxiety, a lot of even if it's not frank, like every day we're freaking out about it. It's just this underlying level of anxiety and worry about something that's maybe bothering us more than we realize. And it's paired here with the 7 of Pentacles. That is a card about patience and that things are a process, and it's very difficult to sort of sit in discomfort when it's something that we care about or someone that we care about and just say, oh, it's a process, we have to let it go. I was several years ago, I pulled a card about my son. My son's very dyslexic, and trying to get him the right services and things like that, and to know he struggles every day, all day long in school is really tough. And so I pulled a card just about him and in general, and I got this card, the 7 of Pentacles. And the traditional way of describing this card is a farmer, fixed, mends the soil and preps the soil and plants the seeds and waters and tends and all that stuff. But no amount of there's certain things that you can't rush, make go faster, hurry along, and no amount of worrying or anxiety or pleading or begging or stressing is going to make the process speed up or hurry along. And so for me, when I was thinking of my son, it's like, you know what, kids, it takes decades for kids to grow up. So stressing and worrying and wanting him to be older or to have figured this out, or like figure out how to cope and blah blah, like there's no reason for it. It's completely futile, and it's putting unrealistic expectations on the entire situation, including him and myself, because it's a process, and it's not a fixable, quick fix solution. It is what it is. And so trying to gain a perspective about that this month, about sort of things that you want to be different in your life, and understanding that some of those things are what they are, and trying to find a way to sort of accept that you can't rush or change or fix some things. So in the work and career, we have, it's called the Drowned, the Hanged Man, and the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is all about our intuition, going within, listening to our gut feeling. So what's that gut feeling? What's that deep down inside of you that you sort of push away? You sort of say, "Oh, that won't work. I can't do that." That negative voice inside of your head. What are you denying yourself? Are you listening to it? And taking the time, if you are sort of at a crossroads where your career is concerned, like, this really isn't doing it for me, and I feel stuck in this job I don't love, and I just, it's stressing me out. It's just an underlying anxiety and worry and frustration on some level, probably more than you acknowledge. And so the Hanged Man says, you know what? Use this time right now. You have a job. Use this time to look at things differently. What if you did, really put everything on the table? Going back to school, a completely different career, downsizing your house to make it happen, moving, put everything on the table. Any like dream or anything that you kind of think about and then go, oh no, I can't do that because I can't take the kids out of school. My partner has a good job. That would be crazy. I would have to take a pay cut. I would do this. No. Look at everything differently. What if none of that mattered? What would you want to do? And really try to look at it from, it's your one life. It's your happiness. You're going to be a better parent, partner, person, happier individual, if you can find a career that's in line with your heart, your true life's purpose. And that's exactly what this card over in the spirituality, this Eight of Pentacles that has been in pretty much every reading I think I've done for over a year now at least. Find it. Find what you love to do, that where you're completely present and happy, and you're just at one with yourself and the universe. And so then, oh, you know what? I didn't read the focus cards. I'm going to read them last. Maybe that happened for a reason. And then in the home, we have this beautiful Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands. She is about living your passions, your creativity. Remember, creativity doesn't have to be you being an artist or anything. It's whatever. It's this. It's this. And she lives this, if at all possible. She lives her passion. She walks the walk. That's what she embodies. So some of you may want to work from home. But she's keeping this fire is her motivation, her enthusiasm, her passion, and she keeps that lit and carries it with her through her life. And with her is the Page of Swords. So there's like this spot on my screen, on my computer, that's driving me crazy. There we go. So having these sort of really deep thoughts about what your passions are and what you want to do and what you love to do, you're going to have to, and if everything's on the table, right? So if you are with someone else, you're going to have to communicate listen, here's where I am. I want to live authentically and be fulfilled. And what I'm doing right now is not cutting it. So call upon, write things down. So we have the King of Swords over here. Call upon your inner King of Swords, because he is an excellent communicator. And really get your thoughts down, make some lists, really do your research, and start getting some facts, because you may think, oh, there's no way in hell I can, I'm sorry, this is driving me crazy. There's no way in hell I can move to Hawaii and become a surf instructor. That's freaking crazy. Well, I don't know. Start quantifying it. Start doing the research, and start getting some actual data together before you start thinking. And again, remember, everything's on the table. Everything's up for discussion, for change, for everything. And it's really interesting because this is sort of a global, and I don't want to, it's not a midlife crisis. But it's that energy, but in a positive way, no matter what age or where you are. Even if you just finished school with a degree in law and you're like, shit, I want to be a yoga instructor. Like, that's what you did all through law school to calm yourself. And that's where your calling is, right? So it's okay. Give your permission to be authentic. Maybe you can combine the two. Maybe that's going to be your creative way of, I don't know how you could do that, but maybe you can combine the two. Maybe you can do one part-time and part-time the other to have that a balance. But when you're communicating this type of energy of really reassessing everything, which I think is a really good thing to do. We kind of tend to do it around the beginning of the year, but it's a good thing to do periodically. It's going to affect your relationship, and I think that's okay. If you're in a relationship, there's either a reawakening in the relationship. Maybe whoever you're with is like, I feel the same way. I feel trapped in this job or this life or this routine, and I'm dying to break free, and I want a whole new change. And it can completely be a breath of fresh air in your relationship. Or maybe your partner is going through this. And we also have the Strength card. And the Strength card is about, especially in a relationship category, is not about grinning and bearing it through a difficult relationship, white knuckling it. It's about having the strength to make yourself vulnerable and have the hard conversations and run the risk of even maybe ruining the relationship by being authentic and bringing up the hard things and communicating and making yourself vulnerable. Not in a dangerous way, not putting yourself in a dangerous position vulnerably, but opening up, speaking the truth. And then, because lots of times I think in relationships we assume, we write the script for how our significant other will react. And, a lot of times we're right, because if you've been with someone for quite some time, you tend to know how they are and what they tend. But you don't know. You can't just assume. And you have to allow them to have their own opinion and have their own reaction and thoughts to it, and not write their script, because sometimes it's not fair. They need to be able to make their own decision. So again, the spirituality, it's finding what you love to do and really start quantifying it, so you can, you are a sword card, an air card, Libra, so you can mentally see that it's a viable plan. It's going to feel more comfortable for you to make that changes. Now, once you've done this work, the focus is this amazing 8 of fire. Change. I mean, this can happen faster than you think, to the point where it may feel a little uncomfortable. But remember, usually when this card, these messages, these opportunities come in, just because welcome them. Just because you felt like, even if it's something you wanted, if you didn't have time to process, it doesn't mean that it's a negative thing. That's just your fear talking. So welcome these changes. Okay, change is not bad, especially if the situation you're in is not satisfying. But even if it is satisfying, it still doesn't mean there's not something better out there. And here's the practical energy to make these things happen. So we have the soul searching, the figuring out what you want to do, the quantifying it, and then really figuring out the finances, the practical things to make it happen. If you need to move, if you need to downsize, if you need to change your lifestyle, if you need to, the practical, the resources behind making these changes in your life. Oh, and I wanted to go back. If you're single, Libran, this is sort of like, I think this is an awakening to not sitting around anymore, to kind of breathing new life into your life, I guess, and putting yourself out there a little bit, doing something different than you have, making yourself vulnerable. I don't know, maybe doing online dating, going different places, really living and pursuing those passions, or even if it's something that's not a passion yet, like I've always wanted to try dancing, I've always wanted to try painting, I've always wanted to try rock climbing, I've always wanted to learn more about gardening. And putting yourself out there, it may not seem like a big deal, but for some people that can seem kind of scary. But it's through something like that you may then open yourself up to meeting someone new. So I think I'll leave it there, Libra. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.